Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 40th edition of the Forward Pass podcast. We've got Luke Duska in Kennesaw, Georgia, Sam Perry in Austin, Texas, and Arch. Let the people know where you're from. Bluffton?
Bluffton, South Carolina, new home.
Bluffton, South Carolina. I am in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm also in a new home. Um, I'm at Tate State headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a sunny but darkening suburbial Nashville.
High above the rooftops of suburban Nashville.
Yeah, yeah. Today we've got a special pod for everybody. This is a true ball knowers pod of the group of six teams. The group of six are made up of six conferences. It used to be the Power Five, and the group of five, it was nice and even. Then the Pac-12 dissolved and rebirthed as a group of six team. So we've got the American Athletic, the Conference USA, the MAC, the Mountain West, the Pac-12, and the Sun Belt. Fellas, without further ado, let's get into the American Athletic Conference. Let's just shout out teams we're high on, our bye teams in the American Athletic Conference. If anybody wants to jump us off, it has a lot of conviction.
I think that there's kind of two areas of the conference. I think this is the most wide open G6 conference, in my opinion. I believe there's 16 teams. I think there's 8 teams that can literally win it all. And I think 8 teams are going to be in that lower tier. So obviously off the top, I'm going to say in no order, Memphis, USF, UTSA, Navy, Army, and FAU are kind of the top 16. Tulane in North Texas are kind of at 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then even you get teams like Tulsa that might have a pulse this year, and the Fighting Owls of Casey Keeler, Temple.
Yeah, that's the last time I support the Owls. Who I think they have Penn State at home this year
They do.
after getting Oklahoma
Lincoln
at home.
Financial,
Yeah. Um,
It's going to be a Penn State
which I
fest,
guess
though.
is home.
of course it's going to be Penn State Fest, but
Yeah.
they're going to make a lot of money in that
A
game.
lot of people that didn't attend Penn State University are going to be there, probably wearing Penn State stuff. Sad.
Guys, tangent about the podcast. I now live in a house with a Penn State graduate.
Hmm. Do we
So
have to
my
do we have to cut back on the
no,
no
it's gonna be just as much
on the
slander.
vitriol?
But I did promise my aunt that I would go to the Penn State bar in Nashville and watch some Penn State games with her. I
Which
got a
is which bar is the Penn State bar in Nashville?
I have no idea. There is
Probably
a
all Deans.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one, but she was like, dude, there's a Penn State bar, you gotta come. I was like, sweet, can't wait to go root for Iowa. Okay, but I guess I'll start with my homerism with Navy. I'm gonna give my Navy bull case. Do you guys remember the USF game last year? When Braxton Woodson entered the game? Oh, whoa.
What's going on there, Arch?
Yes, yeah. I remember that.
Okay, the Braxton Woodson game. Oh, you got the disco lights going on.
Yeah, just the Google Home lights, no big deal.
What's that for?
You got to ask my dad why he installed those. I don't know.
What what is the interval on those? Like what?
I have no idea. I turned off my camera to go ask if he needed his phone but it's his work phone that's sitting here.
Does it
And they
only flash
just,
Google colors?
I don't know. They just started flashing. That was weird. And it was literally as soon as I sat back down.
What's going on in this new house of your guys, Arch?
Uh,
Oh my
strange
god.
stuff.
I'm glad that was
Uh,
part of the new build. Listen, we're building a new house. What I really need is strobe lights in
in
my
my
office.
office.
Had to have him.
Yeah.
Deal breaker.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a deal breaker. Um,
I remember Braxton Woodson though.
yeah,
Yeah,
Braxton
Yeah.
Woodson.
sorry for the interruption.
No,
fellas.
all good. Braxton Woodson comes into the game after Horvath gets hurt and leads the midshipmen to a win. I remember they were my super dog that week, 10.5 point dog, won outright against USF, who was one of the best teams in the G5. There's USF is now in Auburn, Alabama.
Some are saying they were the best, but
That's not what the conference championship said. And by transitive property, that would make Navy. best. But all I'm saying is this: Braxton Woodson is a very capable quarterback. The problem with Navy is they lost Horvath, Heidenreich, and Teza, which was like their entire offensive production last year. But
I have a stat for that.
okay, what's your stat?
4,257 yards of offensive production lost by Navy
Okay,
from their
okay,
2025 team.
which I get that's bad, but if you look at the in terms of record, who were the best teams in the group of five last year, or in terms of also talent competition, it was Navy, South Florida, North Texas, James Madison, and Tulane. Can you guys tell me the difference between those four schools and Navy?
All those schools lost their head coach.
Exactly. And all those schools lost their starting quarterback. Navy only lost their starting quarterback. They retained their head coach, and their starting quarterback had played games where he started last year. Another thing is Navy's pass defense was abysmal. We talked about it all year last year at nauseum. They finished 91st in total pass defense. I think they significantly improve on the defensive side. I think Drew Kronick is an absolute wizard as an offensive coordinator, and I think Braxton Woodson does a good enough job to get this team to around 8 or 9 wins, which puts you, especially with how competitively balanced the conference is, it puts you in contention to make the conference championship game. I do think this year might be the first year we see the Army Navy conference championship game in play. And if that happens, all hell will break loose because they're supposed to play a week after that as well. So I wonder what the conference would do. I wonder if there's a stipulation where that can't happen. Because imagine if Army Navy played back-to-back weeks.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, you're right.
The fellows would be in shambles if somehow the Army Navy got pivoted to the American Championship and then we lost the Army Navy weekend.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway,
How long have they been in the same conference for?
this is year 3.
Okay, I was gonna say like
Because
it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah,
Army wasn't
100%.
in the American. They were independent for
Right.
forever. And then we've always been in the American. So they kind of joined when all the conference realignment was or right before the conference realignment. But what say you guys on the prospect of Navy? I think they're better off because of how decimated the conference is. Like to give a lot of people who are listening to our podcast are mothers or friends that might not be as in tune with the coaching carousel. So North Texas was one of the best teams in the conference last year, lost their coach Eric Morris to Oklahoma State. They hired a capable coach in Neil Brown. You don't like the word capable, Arch? I think he's a capable coach.
I do.
Okay. And then you have Tulane, who won the conference last year. John Summerall got poached by Florida, and then they hired from within. I believe his name's Will. If
Will
anybody's
Hall.
Will Hall. That's exactly right. So those are some of the stalwarts in the conference. Eastern Carolina lost. They had a really good defense last year and a really good quarterback. They lost Caton Hauser to the portal, and they also lost their starting quarterback, and then their defensive coordinator is at USF now. So I think another team that probably did pretty well off in the coaching carousel is Brian Hartline going to USF. What's that?
Yeah,
I just kind of
I can
threw
jump
everything out there.
in.
Yeah,
I
please.
kind of saw it the exact same way as you. The first thing I wrote about the American when I was doing some research was year for the academies, just because Tulane, North Texas, USF, all the big dogs from last year lost their entire team, lost their head coach. So there's going to be some type of drop off. I think I'm excited about some of the hires that these teams made. Like I'm excited to see what Brian Hartline can do at USF. He's been a cog in the wheel, probably one of the best programs. Well, not probably, definitely one of the best programs in college football, if not the best. And he's been a very key component with them, especially from a recruiting standpoint. And I mean, USF is probably the most well-resourced school out of all the American teams. So he's entering a great situation. He's an exciting young coach that I think finally deserved his chance, and it's exciting to see him go to a place like that. They brought in Michael Van Buren from LSU, who was pretty mixed last year, but he had some flashes of solid moments. So I think they'll be able to produce on offense. But I think overall, just I'm seeing it the same exact way as you. And we've kind of been talking about this the last few years when the shift started happening with NIL and transfer portal and all of this movement that you see players do over year to year, basically every year is a entirely new sport. We've talked about how service academies are going to thrive in a scenario like that because they're the schools that are going to be retaining talent more year to year. Like there was probably no debate over Braxton Woodson coming back to Navy this year. So
You can't leave
they're
once you sign past your sophomore year. You're not
exactly. So
you can only get kicked out.
they're in a very unique position to be able to keep their players year to year. So I think that this is where you'll really start to see that advantage play out as things get crazier and crazier. And I'd say, of course, this year has probably been the craziest in terms of player movement and everything that's happened over the course of this year. So I think you'll finally start to see that scenario we've been talking about the last few years start to play out.
Duska,
And I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited because I feel like I was early to that take, and you're finally going to see it start to come to fruition. So I think this is a great prime year for Navy to finally make an American championship game and win it.
No, not South, North Texas brought in 52 transfer players because of Eric Morris went into the cupboard and
He took
just
the whole roster to
took the
Oklahoma
whole
State.
roster to
Yeah,
Oklahoma State. So Neil Brown's bringing in 52 players from the transfer portal. And I believe there's a couple other G5 coaches that have similar numbers, but that's a team that there's just not any cohesiveness.
Yeah, I
not at
also think
all.
on like a broader level in terms of continuity, especially with the service academies and teams like Army and Navy, who, at the end of the day are going to be predominantly run heavy teams and are able to, kind of promote within when it comes to like the offensive line and defensive line and have that continuation in the trenches, especially when a lot of these USF, Tulane, etc. teams are going to lose their best linemen on both sides of the ball to the portal. And I think that just the overall continuity of having not even just returning starters, just guys from the system and from the program on the same line when you're a run heavy team is going to just pay a lot of dividends in, you know, not in the not higher level football where they can out trench someone and rely on the run and, really dominate games when it comes to the end of the season in these meaningful October, November games.
I think we've probably covered what we need to cover in the American Athletic, unless anybody has something more to talk about.
I just have one quick
Perfect.
point.
Okay.
One team that I'm excited to see, they have a head coach going into year two, and I think this coach has a lot of potential. He had a lot of success at the FCS level, and this year, I mean, last year he went into a pretty tough situation, and the results weren't great, but they were trending in the right direction at the end of the year. And I think with the continuity and staff and him being there for another year now, I'm excited to see Tulsa and what Trey Lamb's able to do there in his second year. Like I said, when he was at Gardner Webb and ETSU and FCS, he had a lot of success. So they have returning QB and a lot of O linemen returning. So that's going to be a strength for them. And I'm excited to see what they're able to do.
Are we 0-3? Well, are we am I 0-2 and are you 0-3 against him?
Yeah. Against Trey Lamb. Yeah. Yeah.
No, wait, we're
0
both
0
no,
2.
no, we're both
0 2.
0-2. We're both
Yeah.
0-2. We
Yeah.
lost to Gardner Webb in 2023 and we lost to ETSU in 2024.
Mm.
The Fire the OC game, some
Yeah,
remember in the
yeah, yeah.
stands. That guy
But
was on
they
the
It was
always,
just
I
brought back
mean,
on social media not too
Yeah,
long ago.
shout out Elon bringing that back.
but they always have really good defenses, Trey Lamb team. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see them this year.
I think that's a good shout. They're probably not getting many Tulsa shouts from
And
the
then
national
Temple.
media.
Yeah, I was gonna echo that. What Duska said. Baylor Hayes was their starting quarterback last year. He was a freshman, and they had good games. They had good spots. They also had a lot of tough spots.
I
I
picked them
remember
as
those.
super dog a lot, at least twice last year, and it
Uh,
did not pay off.
yeah, they had one game against ECU that I believe they got beat by like 40 or something. It was a terrible spot for them, but they'll be fighters and feisty this year. I was going to say one team I'm kind of excited to see is Memphis, bringing in a lot of new faces, new coach as well, Charles Huff from Marshall and then Southern Miss. He had success last year in the Sun Belt, had in both stops at the Sun Belt. And Memphis kind of got less for more in the American for a while. They're the most talent composite rich team, have a lot of NIL from FedEx and whatnot and funding. And they never really broke through with Scott or not
Ryan
Satterfield. I'm forgetting
Silverfield.
Silverfield.
Ryan Silverfield. So naturally, an SEC school like Arkansas hires him for some reason. But I digress. So I think
Super inspiring.
Charles Huff is a much better coach, and he's gotten more from less at both of his Marshall and Southern Miss stops. So I'm interested to see how Memphis does this year. It's going to be interesting to see who wins the quarterback battle there because Sam Perry is very familiar with one of the quarterbacks in the mix there, Aaron Noland.
Aaron Nolan.
And the other one is Marcus Stokes, which some may remember from West Florida, some may remember from a scholarship pulling incident from Florida. But nevertheless, it's going to be interesting to see what they do this year.
I like the Tulsa and the Memphis shout.
Damn it, I meant to bring that up and I completely forgot. I have it sitting right in front of me. Mention former cock Aaron Noland.
I'm glad you're wearing the Cox shirt as well. Repping in the G6 pod.
This is going to be a theme for the podcast. I'm going to wonder if our fans will notice.
Okay, I like it.
I wear a South Carolina shirt every single podcast here on out, and we'll see if someone notices.
Okay,
Clip
so
that or delete that.
okay, I'll make sure to delete that. I'm going a little out of order, but I think I created a fun in my head. We'll see how it is verbalizing it, but the American Athletic Conference is a very competitively balanced conference, and it's probably one of the best G6 conferences, sorry. Well, there's the Mid-American Conference, which is basically a competitively balanced conference, but a much worse version of the American Athletic Conference. So we've got the Mid-American Conference. Do we like that? That transition?
That was
Need some
fantastic.
Need some workshopping, but it's a good start.
Okay.
It's a working title.
Okay. Working title, Mid-American Conference. Well, I'm trying to pull up the odds for the MAC championship.
A lot of teams at the top tied.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, so I guess, wow. Within 300 basis points, we've got Toledo, Miami, Western Michigan, Ohio, and Central Michigan all clustered in that 5. Does anybody have a feel here? Because I don't.
Toledo. I'm going to do my Toledo pitch. It's going to be short and sweet. They're kind of the same thing as Memphis, I think, in the that Memphis was in the American. Jason Candle got less with more every single year in the MAC. He's won one title, I believe, in his 12 years there. He always had the most funding. He always had the best team. You always see Toledo guys like Quinyon Mitchell do well in the NFL, and then you wonder why this team can never win the Mid-American Conference. Toledo brought in Mercer head coach Mike Jacobs after having an illustrious career at Lenoir-Rhyne before his stop at Mercer this year. Brought a few Mercer guys up that were good enough to play. Brought other guys from Power 4 schools and some G5 schools, and then some D2 guys that produced. And I really like the makeup of the team. I think a player to watch is going to be a guy named Andrew Zock. He transferred from Mercer. He's like a 6'3" edge, kind of undersized for that position, but he was an FCS All-American as a freshman, and he continued to do that. So I think he's going to be a big name to watch this year, and I think Toledo has got the right man. He's an Ohio native as well, old Ohio State offensive lineman. I think that'll matter in the region. I think Toledo has a lot of success, not like what you saw with Candle in years past.
I have a fun trivia question for you, Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the exact number of Mercer transfers on Toledo's 2026 roster?
7.
14.
I didn't realize they brought that many.
A lot of former Bears on the squad.
I'm sure Macon and Toledo are a similar
Probably
town
not
makeup.
that far apart. Yeah.
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 I've been to
Probably
Macon,
so.
but I've never been to Toledo. So
I'm sure
not much going on in Macon.
Does anybody else have
Arch can attest, I'm sure.
have a strong MAC take?
I don't have a strong
take.
Okay. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
I have a take. So interesting scheduling dynamic here in the MAC. two of the heavy Vegas favorites going into the season, like you just mentioned, Charlie, are going to be Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. Two of probably the more trendy and most popular picks here to win the MAC. They actually play in the last week of the regular season on November 24th for the MAC. So, in the way that the MAC goes, I highly doubt that both teams are going to be undefeated in conference play going into this game. So I predict that Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan on November 24th is going to be a play-in game for the MAC championship, and the winner of that game will win the MAC. That's my take. And it will be Miami. Miami is
Oh,
bringing on a new offensive coordinator, Gus Ragland, who is a former quarterback of the University of Miami, and a Kansas transfer competing with um, redshirt freshman Thomas Gotkowski for the quarterback spot. So I think one of those two is going to emerge. We could run into a little bit of a two quarterbacks is no quarterback situation, but I'm hitching my wagon on to the Red Hawks to continue the hype surrounding their athletic department after their March Madness almost run. Or their March Madness run. They made it to March Madness.
I like Miami too. I mean, there's so much turnover in the conference. I think Chuck Martin's the institution as a head coach at this point. So, I mean, they've been really solid the last few years. So I'm high on Miami too. I have another fun trivia question for the fellas.
Let's hear it.
I'm sure we're all familiar with the name Reese Poffenberger
Yeah.
of Albany
Albany?
fame.
Yeah.
When Albany made the FCS semifinals in 2023, he was their starting quarterback. He went to Miami, he went to North Texas. He ended up at a MAC school this year. He's been bouncing around as of late, making his way through the FBS ranks, slowly working his way back down. What school did Reese Poffenberger transfer to in the MAC? I'm sure Arch knows.
I'll
Ohio?
let, I'll let
Not
them go.
Ohio. It's in Ohio.
Akron.
It is Akron.
What?
Yes. So he's competing for the starting
Should
quarterback
have
job at
stayed at
Akron.
Albany.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of success there. So
Sam?
One more bullet point to round out my Miami take.
Oh,
Trivia question for the group. There's only one person that should know this. Do you know who Miami's projected starting running back is going into the season?
it's got to be a pit guy, I'm assuming.
I know who it is, but I feel like this is something for Chuck.
I have no idea.
Cade Giacomelli.
Oh, did he transfer?
Yeah, to Miami.
Good landing spot. Good landing spot for the kid.
I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Oh, so he might not actually be starting.
Deshaunte Jones is the short yardage back, and Cade Giacomelli is the non-short yardage back. I'm sure you can picture why that is in your head.
Mhm.
Well, I was going to say a Monmouth guy transferred to Ohio as well.
Oh,
He was
Monmouth could
really
always
Ro-
good.
A running
Rodney
back?
Nelson. Rodney Nelson.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
1,800 rushing yards last year. That's what the
Ooh.
preview magazine says.
We're going to lean on the run. They also play Pitt
Oh, scary
week
game for
one.
Pitt. We
So
always struggle against the MAC.
it's
I
just
have another fun little Mac segment, mini segment. So another interesting development from conference realignment over the last few years was a lot of FCS teams trying to make the jump to FBS, and some have done it very successfully. This year, a lot of teams have made the jump, including Sacramento State. For those that don't know, basic geography, Sacramento is in California,
It's a
which is not
state capital.
it is the state capital of California, and it's not in the middle of America, but they are in the MAC this year, and they make some fun trips. They spaced them out pretty well. They did a good job with scheduling them, not making them go out east for consecutive weeks, but they make trips to Eastern Michigan, Bowling Green, Ball State, and Central Michigan as part of their conference schedule. This isn't the furthest they're going to travel for a game, though. Here's a fun trivia question. They play a team on November 28th. It will be by far the furthest they travel, and it won't be east. What team are they going to be playing on November 28th?
Texas?
They won't
Was
be
that
traveling
was that
east.
Thanksgiving?
I feel like they
Oh,
have to be playing
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Are they playing
It's
Japan?
Hawaii. The
Huh.
answer is Hawaii. They
I was
play
thinking like
at Hawaii on
South.
November 28th.
Uh-huh.
But what an absurd traveling schedule for
A
Sac
freaking
State this
F
season.
for an
Yeah.
FCS school. There's no way their budget has that in there.
No, they have like
No.
a trillion dollars.
Milo Austin, shout out.
Yeah. Shout out Coach
Isn't
Milo
Shaq?
Austin.
Didn't
We
Shaq give them a
fence.
bunch of money?
A
I'm
I'm not
few
aware.
a few prominent figures have for
a sack.
whatever reason.
Yeah, what is they have like some wizard salesman? All right, I think we should move on from the Mac. I think we
Okay,
need a
so who's predictions right now? I know Spare you like Ohio, but right
My
now, if you were to
championship game
gauge,
is going to be Miami versus Toledo.
who do you have winning?
Toledo.
I have like not a I don't have a great feel here. I'm gonna go Western Michigan to go back to back.
Let's just these aren't final, by the way.
Yeah,
Final ones are going to be in a month, but
yeah, but
just kind of gauge. So
that's a
I'm going to say
gauge.
I feel like you're just going to go over Ohio.
Who? You're gonna go Ohio?
No, I'm saying, are you gonna you think Western Michigan is gonna beat Ohio or what?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. Or maybe my cousin goes to Ohio in Athens, so I might just have them in the championship game for fun there. Okay. Next
We circle
conference.
back and do the American
We'll do that
champions.
at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Let's kick through these next couple conferences so we can get to I'd like to get some Mountain West Pac-12 stuff done. Uh we'll go Sun Belt. Does anybody
Fun
know?
Belt.
Yeah, the Fun Belt is back. So the James Madison Dukes, that's probably the most popular team out of the Sun Belt. They went 12-2 last year. Their head coach went to UCLA, Bob Chesney. Their starting quarterback went to UCF, Alonzo Barnett. Does anybody know how many players, including freshmen and transfer portal, that Sun Belt Billy brought in to James Madison? Anybody want to guess a number?
Uh,
56.
wait, brought in as in
Freshman and transfer.
how many people are on a football roster?
Like 111.
100 some, give or take.
60.
62.
Ooh.
Shit, sorry, Arch.
You're good. I
62
was
new.
gonna say 47.
Yeah. Well, Sunbelt Billy is back, guys. If you don't know who Billy Napier is to the audience, he was a championship winning coach for the Louisiana Raging Cajuns before taking the University of Florida job, and that going as about as poorly as an SEC job can go. But he's back in the Sun Belt. He's back in a comfortable position. Also, James Madison's schedule is horrific. It's absolutely horrific. It's going to take absolutely nothing to get the 10 wins if they're just slightly competent. Now, their quarterback, I don't know if it's going to be Tanner Veebable, he's a freshman, or Florida transfer Davy Belfort, but their two toughest games are probably home against Liberty and at ODU. Like it's garbage. So they should be in the running for 10 wins again.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so many transfers. I feel like it's hard to gauge what level they'll be able to play at, how quickly they'll be able to mesh, if Napier's getting across the team. So I think it's going to be tough. I'm kind of down on them just because of that, and I feel like
So if you're down on that, who are you up on?
I'm up on the Troy Trojans.
Hmm.
I like so Gerard Parker brought in Adam Austin to be their offensive coordinator from Tarleton State,
Okay.
who were really, really dominant offensively in FCS last year. They put up a lot of points. They made the FCS quarterfinals. They were a really good team. And they have two returning QBs that started a lot of games for them, Tucker Kilcrease and Goose Crowder. And
Mm. Fucking Goose
I just
Crowder.
think, yeah, Goose Crowder, man, myth, legend. I think they're just going to have a lot of continuity, and and returning production on offense, which is going to be supplemented by Adam Austin coming in and providing a spark for them like he did at Tarleton State. And I think that that's going to be this conference is kind of a mess. Like there's really no safe bets here. So I'm going to bank on Adam Austin being able to transfer over to the Sun Belt well, and they have experience at QB, which goes a long way when you have proven production at the most important position in the conference.
Speaking of proven production, I'm gonna kind of give another team as Marshall, returning offensive player of the year, Carlos Del Rio Wilson. And another school that I'm gonna give a little sleeper take would be Arkansas State. They're on the other side. So I'm trying to pull it up, but I was looking at it earlier. The the Sun Belt is the East and the West. The West is significantly easier, and I think that Arkansas State has a chance. They have a lot of talent, a lot of upside, and um, I think that's another sleeper team. But I like Marshall a lot. Continuity at quarterback, and I think is Troy not the favorite to win the conference?
I
I don't
don't
know.
think so. I think it's ODU and JMU. I know Louisiana's up there in the same kind of area as Marshall is too. I think those are like the top 5 in odds, I would say, if I remember that right. One team I'm going to shout out is going to be Louisiana, as I just mentioned. I think the West, like Sam said, it's significantly easier. So a lot of these teams that if you think that they are better than consensus on, you can really see some long shots. And Louisiana has a quarterback by the name of Lunch Winfield. And Louisiana's returning, I believe, 8 starters on their
Lunch, L
offensive.
U N
Yeah,
C H.
and he's good.
Honey, I want
He
some lunch. That'd be a
I, bu-
beautiful name.
he's he, they return about I think 7 or 8 offensive starters. They return their entire offensive line as starters. They had success last year at times. They ended the season on a 5-game winning streak before losing to Delaware in a bowl game, I believe.
Mm.
So this year you got that. They're going to struggle on defense, but I think they're another team out of the West that worth taking a peek at whenever you're kind of bunch of teams bunched up that might be the same.
All right. Moving on to a conference where we have a podcaster in the conference, Conference USA. What's it like in Owl Land?
America's conference.
Yeah, the Conference USA. Um, Obviously, Luke now playing tackle for the Owls. This is an Owls podcast. There's probably going to be a little bit of homerism with that. Um, but we like what they're doing out in Kennesaw.
We do. We're intimately familiar with the Kennesaw State football roster. I don't want to say anything too inflammatory, but I'm excited for this season. I think you're going to see a lot of explosivity on offense and a defense that flies around to the football
Mm.
and makes big plays. And I'm really confident in our ability to show up and play really good football. So I'm personally excited for to see what the Kennesaw State Owls can do. Me being a member of the team, and like I said, don't want to say anything too inflammatory, but that's going to be my championship prediction is Kennesaw State.
Just make sure you don't put any wager on that.
Yeah, oh, I wouldn't
Yeah.
dream of doing that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just make sure.
Yeah.
Other guys in the NCAA have struggled, as we've seen. Um, I like the Owls. Anybody got a sleeper CU a Cussa team? A CUSA, a Cussa?
I think Delaware is going to be live this
I
year
was just about to get on
Why?
the head
I
Blue
should have knew
Hens.
that I should have spoken.
with their Nick
Delaware's
Minucci.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I got to say. FIU is another one that's going to be interesting.
Florida International, really? Could you give me the bold case on Florida International? I'm not familiar with that.
They got a lot of athletes at receiver. I believe if I want to say, their new quarterback is a transfer from App State, who's a blue chip guy. Maybe it gets live in the 305.
All right.
The 305 is always live, Arch. You know this.
It'll be live this weekend.
Sam, any other besides the Delaware? You just want to echo the Delaware sentiment?
Yeah, I was going to say Delaware as well.
Okay. Now let's get into some of the meat of potatoes here. Who do you guys think what conference do you think is better? Do you think the Mountain West is better or is the Pac-12 a better conference?
I think the Pac-12 has better overall.
I would agree with that.
I think I could make a case that the Mountain West is better. But
Let's hear it.
it wouldn't be a depth case. It would be just a couple of cases. It pretty much becomes down to North Dakota State, Hawaii, and UNLV being very, very intriguing this year. So we're going to move into the Mountain West. And something I wanted to touch on, Duska, because you brought something up in the group chat. As much as I vehemently despise myself for doing this, and I know I shouldn't, I'm slightly and very cautiously optimistic for the Dan Mullen and Jackson Arnold marriage. If you look at Dan Mullen's track record coaching quarterbacks with the similar skill set as Jackson Arnold, which is dual threat, you've got Alex Smith at Utah, Tim Tebow at Florida, Dak Prescott at Mississippi State, and then last year, Anthony Calandria at
And Alex
UNLV,
Orgy.
where he revived his career, Anthony Calandria. So all I'm saying is if not now, then it's never for Jackson Arnold. And we've seen him be horrible in the SEC, but something could change. The conference is much weaker he's playing in, and he's at a distinct coaching advantage. When has he ever played for a coach with a distinct offensive advantage in a football game? It wasn't last year with Hugh Freeze, and it probably wasn't. I don't know who the offensive coordinator was before Ben Arbuckle at Oklahoma, but it was not getting the job done.
I mean, you know what they say about Dan Mullen. It's year two Dan Mullen. I think we were just a year too late on UNLV, and I'm right back in.
Oh, you're in. Me and you are in. Fist bump on that. Come on now.
It's year two Dan Mullen. I mean,
Year two.
enough said.
There is a lot. You hear that on the
Should go
streets
without
of
saying.
Vegas.
Yeah,
It says year two Mullen.
there's actually a bill. They're going to build a billboard before the first game of the
Yeah.
season.
Word on the street is that he's getting recognized more than ever right now
Yeah.
on the streets of Las Vegas.
And Cole Kubelik would care about something like that. Duska, give me why. Tell me why I might be wrong.
I mean, for me, it all hinges on Jackson Arnold, and for me, with him, with the amount I've seen him play at Oklahoma and at Auburn, it's a seeing is believing type of thing. Like I just I've seen him just really struggle in games to see the field at all. I've seen
Mm.
him hold on to the football far too long. Fun stat from last year, sacked 4 or more times in 4 games last year, including 9 times versus Oklahoma. So
A mix of
I
offensive line play though.
yeah, offensive line play,
Poor offensive line play.
of course, that's always going to be a factor in
Also,
sacks, but quarterbacks are also
it's a team stat, no
they
doubt.
they contribute a lot to sacks taking place. Unless the offensive lineman's getting beat cleanly, quarterbacks can have a lot of impact on situations like that. And I just don't trust that Jackson Arnold is going to be able to produce like Calandria did. I've just seen too much out of him, and I've seen. I mean, granted, we're talking about SEC defenses here, so I think him moving to the Mountain West, I think that's fair. I think that he deserves an opportunity to compete in a conference like this. Give him at least 1 year, but seeing is going to be believing, and I haven't seen enough out of him to trust UNLV yet. I know Dan Mullen's
Well,
a fantastic offensive coach, but I'm going to need to see a little Jackson Arnold production before I put any eggs in the Rebel basket.
if the Rebel basket does collapse under the weight of Jackson Arnold, at least it'll be an orgy.
There you go.
Alex Orgy is the backup at UNLV. And if Alex Orgy goes into the football game, leave the building. It's not gonna be fun. Okay, so that was like my UNLV. What's the temperature on North Dakota State this year? Ooh, Arch. I see a face of of mediocrity. Explain to me why you feel that way.
I don't know. I just don't think they're in a. I've seen a lot of them compared to like the JMU's, and I'm forgetting if some of these FCS schools that are kind of transitioned up because they've had a lot of success.
Yeah.
But I think this is different because the talent isn't like JMU had P4 talent transfer in. So like I think that when you're like comparing the initial stages, I think the JMU talent composite is better. So they were going to have more success. Obviously, they had two great coaches to start the JMU FBS tenure with Signetti and um, Chesney. But I don't know. I don't see them having as much talent. Granted, they also are in a worse conference overall, I would say, in the Mountain West. And I think it'll be interesting. I think this is going to obviously be the very casual take, but I'm interested to see them week one or week zero rather. They play Jacksonville State in the Fargo Dome, and I think that'll be the perfect kind of summary to see how your season is going to play out, depending on how you perform against one of the better G5 programs. Over the past, I think they're probably a top 20 program in the G5 ranks the past 5 years or so since they made the move to FBS. So I think it's all about how you respond there and play. And if it shows that you're kind of getting outmatched, then I think that's going to be a theme for the season.
I reject your take that JMU has a higher, they may have a higher ESPN talent composite, but James Madison has had four players drafted in the NFL the past decade.
Who
And
was
North
the
Dakota,
last one
James Madison, uh, probably Surratt this year.
before? Oh, I mean that played at JMU.
DiNucci,
Their last season.
DiNucci, Ben DiNucci, Patterson legend. Good shout, Sam. Great shout. Glad to have DiNucci's name back in the funnel. But North Dakota State has had 12 players drafted in the last decade. So although they might, in terms of talent composite, not be the greatest, they always pump out NFL guys. And I think they're going to have a similar roster this year. One thing I do like from them, continuity wise, is Cole Payton last year. He got drafted to the fifth round to the Eagles, and he only started 1 year, and it was his fifth year. So he kind of just rode the pine behind Cam Miller for 4 years. And then when he got his opportunity, he shined. That's kind of the same thing with senior Nathan Hayes stepping into the starting role. He's been sitting behind Miller, then Peyton, until this point, and they didn't hop in the portal to pick another guy. They probably have a ton of belief in Nathan Hayes, and it gives me a similar vibe of what Cole Peyton went through next year. And North Dakota State always puts their guys in a position to succeed. Tim Polasek has had the Bison absolutely rolling in his first 2 years of the program. Guess how many transfers they brought in?
14.
Not
15.
nine.
Mm.
This shows you that they think they're ready to compete as is as a program. So we're going to see the litmus test. Like you said earlier, they're going to get Jack State. They also have to go. They have their two. They play the two hardest teams in the conference, and they go to their building. So they go to Vegas and play UNLV, and they go to Hawaii and play the Rainbow Warriors. So we're going to see this North Dakota State team tested this year. I actually have them winning the conference.
I want to just add a little perspective to this conversation too, just because I think JMU's a fun comparison, just because they've probably had the most success out of any FCS jump recently, at least. But when you're comparing the two, James Madison was very successful in FCS. They won a national championship. I think it was 2015. They made tons of championship games, semifinals. They always would go deep in FCS playoffs. But this is literally the quintessential FCS program. They won 10 national championships in 15 years. They're, I think it's fair to say they're a better program than James Madison. And historically, 100%. Obviously, they haven't proven it at the FBS level yet, but they haven't had the opportunity to. They've always played really well even when they played Power Five competition in the past. So I think it's hard to say that talent composite's going to be a big factor here when they've proven they can bring guys to North Dakota, develop them, and they're a a machine year after year and win national championship after national championship. This is the FCS team. I think it's difficult to doubt that they're going to be able to have success, especially moving to a conference like the Mountain West where there's not a lot of proven talent or super consistent programs left in the conference. I honestly think that NDSU is gonna roll through the Mountain West, and I'm not gonna be very surprised when they're able to do that.
I have a podcast guarantee to give
Mm,
at the end of this segment
mm.
on them.
Okay. Sam, do you know the name of Hawaii's head coach?
No.
Cha-cha-chang, little girl, what's your name? Timmy Chang. Timmy Chang of Hawaii. They also have one of my favorite quarterbacks, Micah Alejado, and we did our favorite games of last year. Mine was Hawaii beating Cal in a bowl game, coming back from 21 nothing.
Hawaii Bowl.
The Hawaii Bowl. Exactly, Duska, thanks. I really like what their over under is 7.5 because they play Stanford and Arizona State. They also play UNLV and South Dakota State. Like they're gonna have a couple very tough games, but they bring back a prolific receiver. They had Pofele Ashlock. He had 76 catches for over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, and they added Audric Harris, who was Alijado's teammate at Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. So we're talking about a 9-4 Hawaii team from last year that returns their head coach and returns their starting quarterback. And if you can return your head coach and starting quarterback in the group of 6 ranks, I like where you're headed. I would probably take the over on that 7.5 for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, but they're probably gonna have to get one of those UNLV or NDSU games. What say you about the Rainbow Warriors, fellas?
Is sorry, separate question. Is Bishop Gorman where Spencer Rattler went, or did he get? Am I thinking of
No,
someone else?
Spencer Bishop Gorman was Tate Martell.
Okay, that's who I'm thinking of.
Spencer Rattler went to like it starts with the Pinnacle. He went to Pinnacle.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, sorry.
No,
I
you're
like
good.
Hawaii though. I love Alejado. He's very fun to watch, and he's a
Fucking
lefty.
awesome quarterback.
Yeah,
Lefty,
yeah.
lefty Polynesian.
And
You
he's
know,
small. He just
hmm
gets it done.
he does. Gunslinger. One of the last true gunslingers we have in this
Also,
game.
Timmy Chang is a legend at Hawaii as well. Hucked over
Yes.
100 passing touchdowns in his time there. So, fun program, always.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, no one's mentioned them yet, but I think two teams are going to be kind of intriguing that are going to honestly, I think going to determine the one team I think is going to be in the Mountain West title, New Mexico. They returned their quarterback. They returned a lot of guys on offense and defense. They got Jason Eck as head coach, who had a lot of success in the first year. They got a really good running back in Scott Trey Humphrey, who was a guy from
Mm.
Montana State from a few years ago, who was really good as a freshman transfer and kind of gotten lost in the depth chart, but he should be the lead back this year, which I think they're going to be in the title game. But one team I think is going to determine it, but I don't think they're going to be in it, is Air Force. They've had a lot of,
Mm.
they've been pretty horrible the past few years, quite frankly.
They
But Troy
have.
Calhoun is a very good coach overall. He's had a lot of success there. And this year, the reason I'm saying that is Air Force has a lot of games that, like I said, I don't think they have a pretty difficult schedule in spots. I don't think you're going to see them win it all or make it. I don't think the record's going to be good enough. But they play a lot of teams in good spots. Like they play like UNLV, they host North Dakota State. They play at Army, which won't matter at all for standings, but that's an interesting game. At New Mexico, so they're playing a lot of these teams that I think they're going to influence the race. I don't know how successful they are, but it's going to be another team that's in a conference where a lot of the bottom teams are horrible. I think Air Force is going to be pretty frisky.
All right. We'll roll through the Pac-12 now.
Wait,
Who
can I
is
give my take really fast? My
oh,
guarantee.
yes, give your guarantee. I forgot about that. My bad.
All right, we're gonna come back to this in like 3.5 months, and they're gonna think, "Wow, I can't believe they predicted it." I personally guarantee this has been a hot topic amongst college football fans over the past year or two, regarding college game day locations and
Mm.
how it has been a rinse and repeat of SEC schools and Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, and the occasional Utah, BYU, Texas Tech, etc. I guarantee that on Halloween weekend, October 31st is a Saturday, on Halloween, College Game Day will grace the grounds of North Dakota State or Boise State that weekend. That is my guarantee. Speaking of North Dakota State, did some research. The best game of the day is Ohio State at USC, which I already think that game day will be at USC before then. And other than that, nothing really pops off the page on the SEC side, Florida, Georgia, but it's in Atlanta. I think it's going
Corporate.
to be at North Dakota State, most likely. If not, it's going to be at Boise State. That is my prediction, guarantee.
And this is why Sam is on the podcast. Where else do you get that analysis? I'm serious. Can't find that anywhere else. Thanks for that, Sam. We're gonna keep
You're
track of
welcome.
that by Halloween. Okay. See, the Pac-12, it doesn't bore me. That's the wrong word, but it feels like it's Boise's conference to lose with San Diego State looming. I love Sean Lewis at San Diego State, by the way. I think that's a great get for the fellas. In year two, Sean Lewis. We talk about, or maybe it's year three, whatever. They call them the as fast offense because they go the Aztecs, they go fast. But anyway, what I really want to bring up is how crazy the drop off from of Oregon State has been, and so fast. Like in 2023, this was a they didn't they beat Oregon?
They almost beat Washington that year. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. There anyway, this was like a prideful, like you didn't go to Coriopolis and win without, being tested. Okay. Not it wasn't like the big bad Coriopolis, but it meant something. It was like going to Starkville, Mississippi State. It's like it was frisky when you went to Coriopolis. They are plus 3,000 to win the Pac-12. Utah State is plus 1,000. I simply cannot believe how bad Oregon State has become. At least Wazoo has Washington State, as they also got fucked in the Pac-12. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's Corvallis. Coriopolis is in Pennsylvania. It's where the Pittsburgh airport is. Oh,
That's
well,
why I gave you the weird look when you said it for the first time. It wasn't because Oregon State's horrible.
Coriopolis. It's literally where it's where my aunt lives. It's where the Pittsburgh airport is. Corvallis. I wrote Corvallis in my freaking write-up for, but Corvallis was a place of pride. I'm sorry for not that any Oregon State Beaver fans are listening to this, and I just misnamed their city 3 times, but I'm sorry. But Corvallis was a place of pride, and now they're 2,000 basis points behind Utah State for the Pac-12 championship. Are we serious?
Yeah, I was going to say I do like their hire. It was kind of I don't know if I would say inspiring, but it was out there and interesting. They brought Alabama's, I think it was co-DC or like DB's coach that has ties. I believe he played at Oregon State,
Mm,
which is pretty cool to bring a guy back to the region that's had SEC coaching experience.
yeah.
The Malik Murphy experience has been absolutely horrible, and the fall off from the Jonathan Smith days of Oregon State has been sad.
Where is Jonathan Smith now?
I believe he is fired. He is on the couch this season.
Oh, unemployed. Got you.
Yeah,
Would you rather have
but
the Malik Murphy experience or the DJ Oyungalele experience?
probably DJ, dude. That 2023 Oregon State team was legit good.
Yes.
They were good. They were solid.
They were
Legit.
like 2 plays away from beating Washington if they're running
I
back.
remember watching
Damian
that game
Martinez
at
that transferred to Miami.
Yeah.
we watched that game
Fumble.
at Beer Republic. I remember that
It
being
was
on the
for
TV.
it was for HP's 21st, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Y'all were calling me, slandering me because that was my patented spot play for like the month.
That was a
Oregon
good.
State.
Honestly, Arch, that was a sharp pick.
Sharp pick.
You don't
Was
win
it the
them all.
Oregon State Washington game?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
remember the
Sam,
muff.
we're talking about so many muff punts. We're talking about how Oregon State is plus 3,000 to win the conference and Utah State is plus 1,000. Like how far we've come in Corvallis in the wrong way.
It's sad because it's a really like passionate fan base, good college town.
Yeah. Oh, I also called it Coriopolis 3 times before calling it Corvallis. So
Do you guys know that Coriopolis is an area in PA?
I explained that that's where the airport is.
It's where, yep.
Unbelievable from me. But we live and we learn.
Can I give a little Pac-12 sleeper?
Yeah. Let me
Washington State.
I am also on Washington State.
I like.
They've had
I'm
tough
a
coaching luck. Bad coaching luck.
agreed. They're going on their fourth head coach in 6 years. That's
Yes.
tough.
Third and
But
three.
I'm a big fan of Caden Pinnick, who they brought in a QB. He was at UC Davis last year, produced a lot.
Mhm.
Um,
Ooh, I
I
don't know if he's
mean,
gonna beat out Julian Duggar,
you don't
Pittsburgh
think
guy.
so?
I don't know. He's just a Pittsburgh
I
guy.
think they have a guy with a lot of proven production for a team that won a lot of big ball games last
Yeah,
year.
I think
But
that guy's probably gonna. The UC
I,
Davis kid's probably the favorite to win that battle.
I like Kirby Moore, who they hired.
Hmm.
Super efficient offensively in his time as the offensive coordinator at Missouri under
Hmm.
Drinkwitz.
Hmm.
Expect them to carry that over. Run game is going to be strong. You know that. That's been
Hmm.
a key strength of Missouri the last few years.
Hmm.
Uh, only issue 17 defensive players last year played 200 snaps for them.
Hmm.
All of them are gone.
Ooh, ho,
So
ho.
that's going to be you got to produce you got to replace a lot of snaps on defense. That's
Yeah.
going to be probably a patch job as you go along. You got to see what guys fit in the defense, who's able to make plays, who's able to tackle well. But I think the offense is going to be humming, and I think the conference is pretty open for the most part. I mean, Boise's going to be solid. We know that, but I think Washington State is a good sleeper. Some would say sleeping giant. I mean, they kind of got cast to the side. They got cast to the side with the Pac-12 movement, but there's they can make some stuff shake at Washington State.
No doubt. I'd like to throw in a caveat here. We must define success properly for this season. I think 7 games would be absolutely wonderful. The reason I say that is because on their schedule, they play Washington, Kansas State, and Arizona, as well as playing Boise State and and San Diego State. So they play the 2 best teams in their conference, plus 3 teams they're going to be heavy underdogs against. So if
I
they
mean, I'm
get
just
this
thinking of them as in
yeah,
conference play.
exactly. But I'm just saying for all the people, if you see like a 7-5 Washington in the Pac-12 championship game, that didn't necessarily mean they were bad. It just means they had a really tough go at it. I mean, if Washington gets to 8 wins in the regular season, Washington State, clap it up for them. I like that sleeper pick. Mine's San Diego State though. Like I
As
said,
what do they say? Aztec fast?
as fast. The as fast offense.
As fast?
Yeah, as fast. It's Sean Lewis, who was at Kent State, and then he moved to Colorado before being fired like 5 games into his tenure at Colorado. He's in San Diego State. Uh, their schedule is no slouch. They play UCLA, they play JMU, they go to Corvallis, which I guess doesn't mean as much anymore. They go to Boise, but they return their starting quarterback. They return their starting running back, Lucky Sutton, who had 1,300 yards. Jaden Donegal is their starting quarterback. He was a Michigan transfer. He got hurt midway through last year, but he's a proven athletic, like really top end G6 quarterback. And so they return their quarterback, their coach, their running back. To me, that's a lot of cohesiveness in a group of 6 where they were pretty good last year. They went 9-4, also had a first round draft pick in the NFL. So this program is trending in the right direction, and Vegas thinks so too. They're plus 360 to win the conference.
Yeah,
What
I
do
was
you
going to do a little pitch for Fresno.
Ooh.
Matt Entz, old North Dakota State coach, if I'm correct in that.
Hmm.
They're bringing in a quarterback. I forget where he's from. His name is Christian Martin. I believe he's a P4 guy. They have good running backs, Rayshawn Luke and Bryson Donaldson, that are they're coming back, and they're returning a lot of their defense, which one of their strengths were last year, and it's had their kind of their trenches and their fundamentals down in year one. It seemed their offense really struggled. They had Kurt Warner's son at quarterback last year,
EJ.
which was absolutely dreadful. So if Martin is just able to throw the football
Martin is from
forward,
Maryland, by the way.
Maryland, yeah, if he's able to just like literally throw the football and complete a forward pass, we might be having something special. Kyvion Thunderbird is a linebacker. He was pretty fun to watch last year. Also, I played a dynasty with him last in CFP 26. So, but I expect him to be a big piece, and they have a
It's an
decently
awesome
hard.
last name,
Yeah.
Thunderbird.
What a laying the boom.
Yeah.
And they have a decently hard
A
schedule.
gap guy.
But
Real A gap guy.
Yeah. Okay.
the A gap guy. But
Yeah.
I think they're going to be pretty frisky as well.
All right.
He's not the A gap guy. We know who that is.
All right. So we're gonna do a snake draft because I want to get you guys out of here at a reasonable hour. We are going into our snake draft portion of the G6 where we each go and pick a team. And I guess at the end is it 3 rounds, Arch, or is it gonna be 2 rounds?
4.
Four
So
rounds.
16.
We're gonna go 4. Ooh, it's gonna test my ball knowledge. All
Do we have a
right.
scribe?
What?
Do we have a scribe?
I can
Yeah.
scribe.
I'm writing down right now.
Okay.
But
Okay, yeah. I was just say I can do it too.
okay. Let me write down names. But basically, fellas, it's just gonna be
Let's do 3 rounds.
okay. I agree, Arch, because it's gonna get thin real quick.
16 G5 teams are going to
Six
get nasty.
and then we just add up their wins after the year. That's who wins.
Okay, that's fun.
The G5 snake draft, we just add up their wins, or do we want to prorate it via schedule? Like, because JMU's, we'll prorate, we'll define the coefficient of like who has the strongest schedules.
I feel like that's too complicated to follow along with. Let's just do
It's not
win
not
volume.
No, let's
No.
just do wins. It's
No,
not that bad.
no, because like JMU
No,
is
because
like,
the teams are
that's different.
comparable to their conference opponents. So it's not like
No.
no, it's not like a Pac-12 team is playing a MAC team. MAC teams are playing MAC teams. Pac-12 teams are playing Pac-12 teams. The wins have the same value based off their conference. You don't need a
No.
prorated coefficient.
I disagree. I just think JMU schedule's so ass that like they're auto. Maybe they're
Well,
That's their
I think
conference. It doesn't matter.
Let's do the wins, and then the person that gets the berth of the playoff.
Let's
gets
do the
like
wins,
10
and then if
points.
Chuck doesn't win, we get the prorated coefficient, so he wins.
No, I was because out west they play a little bit harder of a G6 ball. Actually, no, the American's the best, but I think like this, whatever. I'm not gonna go shit on the Sun Belt or the CUSA. Like I'm not doing that. Okay, Luke, you get the first draft pick.
Okay, well, I feel like it would be just downright wrong to not pick the school I attend and play for, so I'm gonna take Kennesaw State.
Sheep.
Nice.
Bah.
Glad I put you first. Okay, Sam, you're up. So you're up next, Sam.
North Dakota State.
Okay.
Nice.
Um. Navy.
Mm.
I guess I'm just gonna go Boise.
Good pick. Great value at the 4 spot. And you're up again, Arch.
Snake is brutal. Oh,
Memphis.
Ooh, okay. Boise, Memphis. Back to myself. I gotta pick somebody that. Well, who's like a guaranteed like 8? 8 would be perfect here. James Madison. This way. If the prorated 16, you said we're not prorating. I have JMU. This
that's fine.
Sam.
1 second. I'm researching this really fast. I have trying to find this over under. Let's go. Oh, wait. Miami of Ohio.
Ohio.
I was about to take them.
Duska, you're back to back here.
All right, I'm gonna go Troy,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go with. Oh man, it's getting.
Ben.
Ooh, let's go Toledo.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I get.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sam,
Okay. Cool.
back to you.
My boy's still available. UNLV.
Yeah, UNLV they're off the board
Taking.
now. Now it's up to me. San Diego State.
Pass fast.
As fast. Arch.
Mm, USF. No, no. USF.
Do we want to go one more round for fun? Really test us?
Yeah,
Or
let's rip around one more.
all right,
Jacksonville State.
Jack State.
Boo.
Um, I am between two schools. I'm gonna go Hawaii. Sam.
I'm up.
Yeah.
Can't find. Why can I not find over under win total odds for every G6 team?
Megs might be sleeping.
Um, hmm. Navy's been taken. Has UTSA been taken?
Utsa, no. The Roadrunners come off the
Oh.
board.
Between, I'm the last pick, right?
Yeah, you are.
I'm between Western Michigan and Air Force. It's a hard decision. Mm. Give me ah, give me Air Force.
Dude, I think that was the wrong service academy, but that's okay.
You think Army?
I think Army's gonna have a higher win total, but you already picked Air Force.
What? Why doesn't Air Force play FCS? Oh, they play Duquesne. Never mind. Okay. Okay. I just panicked when I looked at their schedule again.
They play Duquesne.
Yeah, okay.
Duquesne, how about Duquesne flying out? They always have a
Yeah.
couple. All right, so
They always
here's what it looks like.
Dude, Army's got a tough schedule though. I don't know.
All right, you might be right.
They do
All
play
right,
head to head though.
yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. All right, so Luke has Kennesaw, Troy, Toledo, Air Force. Sam has North Dakota State, Mohio, the Running Rebels of Las Vegas, and then the Roadrunners of San Antonio University, University of Texas, San Antonio. I have Navy, James Madison, San Diego State, and then the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And Arch has a very strong draft of Boise, Memphis, USF, the Fighting Brian Hartlines, and Jack State. Fellas, do we have any um,
I have a gripe with the order of this draft. I think we should have talked about it before.
well, I just did it by random, and I can't help that you could have got Kennesaw State in round 4, but you decided you wanted to play
Well,
that
no, I
game in
think
round 1.
I honestly think you knew that I was going to pick Kennesaw State, so you put me first, knowing it was a snake draft, and that all the other top teams are going to be off the board. That's what I think.
Who would you
I
have picked in their place?
Well, excuse me?
Who would you have picked
No,
in your
I would have
team's
liked to go
place?
fourth, and then got to pick Kennesaw State fourth,
and
and
a
then got to
stronger
select
fourth.
from there
Yeah, well, listen, all I'm
instead of
saying,
picking them
I
first
did it
and then having the
complete.
eighth pick.
I did it completely random, and then because I didn't even think about.
I
I didn't
don't
even. I thought
see.
you were. I
I
thought you were
simply
gonna.
don't
I thought
believe you.
Kennesaw was just off the board because like this could be. We're only betting for bragging rights, but I didn't. I thought you'd take them off entirely, but no, you wanted to do that. And that's your prerogative.
I simply don't believe you thought that. I'm sorry.
I had no
I'm gonna.
thought. I was just writing down names. They were like, "Who's the manuscript guys?" I'll do it. Luke, Sam, Charlie, Arch.
How come you got to pick the order of the draft?
It was random. I didn't even pick it. I just
It
looked up.
didn't. It doesn't feel random right
Just
now.
because your draft is ass and your win totals are significantly less than ours preseason doesn't mean you have to complain.
Well, Duska, maybe
I'm
we
not
should implement
complaining.
maybe we
I'm
should
just.
implement the variable win metric and it could add
Do
more
you want the
weight to your
coefficient?
I
wins.
don't want the variable win metric.
Yeah, because
Actually,
all your teams are in shitty ass conferences compared to ours. You're fucked either way. No,
At least I didn't.
listen.
At least I didn't pick two teams that are going to play each other.
Did I do that?
Yes, you did.
I think.
USF and Memphis.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, that's
That
fine.
means I guarantee a win. Actually, that's good. I guarantee to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay. Okay, we're about to
I
get out
just
of here.
I just wanted to point that out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just thought I had a gripe and I wanted to raise it.
That's a fair point. You're wrong. Um,
I'm not wrong.
you're never wrong. You're right.
It's okay.
Okay. Any other things? We're gonna get out of here. Um, anybody have anything to say before we have a couple closing, just a couple podcast teasers I wanted to throw out there?
I was going to say the G6 graphic is going to be posted for the snake draft social media in the next week. So be sure to send that over, Chuck.
Yeah.
And then the quarterback one should be posted by Friday night.
Beautiful edit.
Where and then kind of
Majestic.
every week I'll just be posting something from each podcast we do. This the buy, sell, hold, whatnots. It was kind of hard to do for the G6, but we're going to be implementing that starting next week, and we'll get content pumping out.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to say is I've been in contact. A little bird says there could be merch on the way.
That is true.
A little bird did say that. We will
I just came up with a content idea.
good. Let's list it out.
I'm trying to look up the exact date, but the AP poll comes out like I think first week or so of August.
Mm-hmm.
And we could do we each make our own like the SP poll and the LD poll. We each
What
make
if-
our own top 25 and we can make that into a like post.
Okay, or
And Arch, to save you the hell of putting a graphic, you can just make like the numbers 1 through 25 and you just type out the team name.
or
Instead.
or
I'm like a top 5, top 10.
wait, what if we do it?
You just make a top 25 poll before the poll comes out, and
Okay,
we just
we can
post it
do
on
that.
Instagram the day before.
What if we do the forward pass poll?
We can do that.
That'd be hard for us to.
Agree on.
Yeah, I mean the only way you could do that is if we did a top 25 and then we averaged
Actually,
if
We just
three
have
of
an.
us, if
I'll just
three of us
share.
25 to 1, 25 for first place, and then whoever has the most points, we add them up.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
I'll do a Google sheet. It'll be easy.
Yeah, you could make an easy formula for that.
Yeah,
Wait.
easy Excel.
so whoever gets the most teams ranked or what?
No.
Whoever has the most points, we each make our own top 25. Whoever has the most, if you're a firster, you get 25. If you're 25th, you get 1 point. And then you take all 25 of all 4 rankings, and then whoever has the most total points, we rank them based off cumulative points.
It's just our poll versus the AP poll. It's just our
Yeah.
combined brain poll, and we just assign a number to.
I
1 to
actually love
25.
that.
Yeah, because it'll
Yeah.
see like what we're all. It'll be like the mean.
So
of,
it's
like,
just
what we
averaging
think.
our rankings basically.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
Basically
betting. That's
all
what I was
voters.
saying.
It's how the AP poll is. It's
Yes.
a combination of the voters.
Yeah, except
So
we're
if
sharper.
for me example, if me and Sam said Georgia 5, you two said Georgia 3, Georgia would be 4 on our poll.
No.
No, it depends. It's like
It depends on point because
median's
everyone's
the wrong
points will
word.
be
It's like
different.
an average of the team's rating by each
Yeah.
rank. That's why like sometimes teams are like tied.
So if we
Yeah.
rank Georgia. If
Well, it's
I rank
also
Georgia
votes,
third,
but
if I
yeah.
rank Georgia third, they get 23 points. If you rank them fifth, they get 21. And then if Chuck ranked them fifth, they get 21. If Sam ranked them third, they get 23. Add all those up, they have whatever. What is that? 20 or
I
87?
see what you're saying.
88.
You order them in
Yeah, so Georgia
If
has
somebody
88 points
if
then.
somebody can program that,
I can get that on a
That's
Google
easy.
sheet.
really
and
easy.
then
That's
just
easy.
give it, and then I can just do our individual rankings and our combined poll ranking.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We can do that weekly. That's like a fun little.
That's a good piece of content for everyone.
Oh, dude, we could do
We
that
need to figure out
weekly.
what day the AP poll drops, so I know.
I'm looking. I saw a post about it. I'll figure it out.
I think
You
it
can
might
even
be
put the
dropping
amount of points
soon.
each team has in parentheses next to them.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'll look nice and
All
professional.
right, I'll get on that Google sheet. All right.
August 17th.
Oh, we can get it. We can get that done way before then.
Yeah. We could. Oh, that's a great content idea, Sam.
Come on
Yeah.
now. The fellas are cooking.
Okay,
Season
and then
two. Season 2 is on the way.
Yeah.
This
Our
is preseason.
Our intern has a clip,
Um,
I think, lined up. He said he's posting it Friday.
yeah.
We'll see.
And then for the playoff draft, this is no one's going to listen to this, but for the playoff draft that we're doing for the playoff predictions and whatnot, we'll each get 10 draft picks, or I think we'll do 8 to 10, where it's like a snake draft where you're picking every team in the power whatever, and every team you can pick, and then if you get in playoff 1 point by one, I'm copying the way that Big Cat and David or Brandon Walker and Tom Fernelli did it. It's kind of a cool thing. We'll probably do it to 8. So at max, we'll pick 32 teams total, and then we'll just get points. But I mean, that'll be a thing. But we can do that in the playoff prediction
I
pod.
love that. Love that. That's a good idea.
And then we can
Sure.
also, during that one, we can do our top 4 sleepers and whatnot. We can each do 4 sleepers in the power 4 that we think are going to do better.
I love it. Think of what we did last preseason, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
That's called progress.
Yeah. We were
Got a lot
fucking.
more time on my hand.
We got bubble gum. We were bubble gum and duct tape and shit together last year.
Yeah.
We still are, but
We made it happen, though. We
Yeah.
put out 39 episodes.
Yeah. Not bad.
No.
Sam, what did your face go like this for?
The Flyers just signed Zegras $9 million annually.
Ooh, love that. Overpaying.
60 points, baby. 60 points a year.
Yep. Overpay.
Yeah, but they tried, dude. They tried to RFA
I saw that.
the Carlson.
Offer
Yeah.
sheet.
Yeah, our offer sheet. Well, he was an RFA. Yeah, they tried to
So
offer
other
sheet
teams
him.
so the team he's on can just match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's
did.
essentially like a restricted. Anytime the guy's a restricted free agent, a team can offer sheet him, which means they can offer him like whatever the maximum amount is, and then there's like a limit. The only amount you can offer sheet is like the highest amount that they can be paid, and then you have to give that team his like value in draft picks. So they rank the players off of like a tier. So like if it's a certain tier player, you give them 3. So they would have to give up 3 first-round draft picks
The
for
Flyers?
that.
Mhm.
Ooh.
So like if the Penguins were to offer sheet Bedard, they'd have to give up the same.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad we didn't get him then.
Well, then you figure out a way to
No,
overpay
Leo
somebody.
Carlson's like insane.
Is he worth it? Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. But the
Super
Ducks-
casual here, but
Yeah, the Ducks figure. Well, you know what? We can't say shit. The Flyers beat us in a playoff series. Unbelievable.
No, yeah, but they're better and can be better in the long term than we are. So
Yeah. But
Porter Marktown.
oh, Martin. Fuck that guy,
Should we officially end the this episode?
dude.
yeah, I gotta run. I gotta like get shit done before I go to bed. Like 40
Same.
minutes.